And it is on this day that the first humans are born. But the gods have not yet considered everything, for not long after the first humans are born, they begin to cry. For the humans are hungry. What will the gods feed the humans? And so again, Teo, the father of creation, and his wife have another dice game. And they decide again that Quetzalcoatl will be chosen as the savior of the humans. He must go and find the humans food. And so Quetzalcoatl sets out on his journey of the earth once again, and he finds an ant. And this ant holds something rather spectacular, rather genius, what is necessary for the life of the humans. In this small ant's hand is a kernel of corn. And so Quetzalcoatl shrinks himself to the small size of this diminutive creature, and he becomes an ant like what is before him. And he begins to pester it. Ant, please, please tell me, where did you get this corn? I need to feed the new humans. Please, will you help us? No, the ant says, I will not help you. This is my corn. Why would I share it with you? Why would I tell you? Please, please, please. The humans, they cry out, they're starving. No, the ant replies a second time. And at this offense, Quetzalcoatl rises on his back feet, and he strikes an aggressive posture. He begins to bully the ant, to beat it into submission. And on the third time, the ant relents, and it goes, yes, Lord of Knowledge, I will tell you where I have gotten the corn. And so they journey more across the earth until they find a great mountain. And while in the form of ants, they sneak in between two rocks. And inside the mountain, it is hollow. It is filled with amaranth seed, chia, and corn, what the humans need to survive. And so Quetzalcoatl, having found the answer, to his quest, journeys back to Omeyocan to inform the gods of what he has found. And they again task him to break open the mountain and bring the food back to the humans. And so the great god of knowledge does this. He goes back to the mountain, and with his great power, he tries to rip open the mountain. He takes his giant hands, he shoves them between the rocks, and he pulls, and he doesn't move. He takes his great bandana, he ties it around the top of the mountain, and he begins to yank to try to pull the mountain down, and it doesn't budge. And again, the great god of knowledge turns himself into his great serpent, the embodiment of his power, and he begins to blow at the great mountain, to strike it. And again, the great mountain does not burst open. It does not budge. And so for the first time, the god of knowledge has failed. He journeys back in shame to Omeyocan, and he tells the senior gods what has happened. And they begin to debate amongst themselves. For who is more powerful than Quetzalcoatl? Who can break open the mountain? And they play another dice game. And they get a dramatically different outcome than they expected. For it is Nanawatsi, the leper one, who will break open the mountain. And so they go to the lake where Nanawatsi lives, and they rouse him out of the shell at the bottom of the lake, his little house. And they say, please, leper one, please, Nanawatsi, will you go break open the mountain for us? And you see, Nanawatsi is very humble and very gentle, and he is unsure of what to do. For how would he break open the mountains? He's covered in pustules, his skin is falling off. He's got 2 clubbed feet, he can hardly even stand. What do they want him to do? And so he begins to think, if one person cannot do it alone, maybe he needs to turn it into many people. And so he journeys to the other gods. He goes to the 4 gods of the winds and lightning, and he begs them for their help. He says that if they grant him the power of lightning to bust open the mountain, he will in exchange give them some of the corn and chia seeds as reward. And they agree to this. They give him the gift of lightning of all 4 directions, And he goes to the great mountain. He climbs up to the mountain. He strikes the top of it, and it blows in half. All of it, all over the world. This is how corn and amaranth were spread. But before Nanawatsi can inform the other gods of his great success, the minions of the wind god, the Taloki, descend on what's left of the mountain, and they take most of the corn for themselves, and what's left gets washed out into the river. But it is through this great tragedy that agriculture finds itself. For the great river has planted the corn along the rows, and it begins to grow. All of the corn, the blue corn and the glass corn and the beautiful many-colored jewels. And the humans, they are happy, for they now have something to be fed.